state and local business and occupation taxes. My name is Tony Cameron with TLDR Accounting, and we provide tax and accounting services to small business owners, individuals, and therapists in private practice. So, Washington State has business and occupation taxes. We shorten this to B&O. Sometimes they're called excise taxes, but it's not like some states like New York, California. They have an income tax return that gets filed with their federal return, right? It just gets done with your federal taxes and it's taken care of. Washington doesn't work that way. We don't have an income tax based on our state constitution. So in Washington, we have Washington business taxes. Now, there's Washington taxes, there are county property taxes, and then there are local taxes. So we'll start with the Washington taxes. So Washington has taxes on a statewide level, and it's based on your gross income that your small business or your work as a freelancer makes. It's based on your revenue. Now, the due dates for this are flexible. The state tells you when they are due. They are either due annually, they are due quarterly, or they are due monthly. Now, if you're a monthly filer, they're due by the 25th of the month. Quarterly files must submit it by the last day of the month after the quarter end. And if you're an annually filer, that recently changed from January 31st to April 15th. So it's at least due when your federal taxes are due, though you don't submit it with your federal taxes. I know that was complicated, so I'm going to do it again. Your annual taxes for Washington State, if you are an annual filer, are due April 15th. If you're a quarterly filer, they're due the month after the quarter ends. So that would be April 30th, July 31st, October 31st, and January 31st. Now, if you're a monthly filer, they're due the 25th of every month. You basically have a filing every month because you file every month, and it's the 25th of the next month. So your January B&O would be due February 25th. Wow, right? There's a lot to keep track of there. The number one thing you should know is if you're an annual, quarterly, or monthly filer. And Washington State will let you know what type of filer you are. Now, these can be filed online at door.washington.gov. It's super easy. I prefer that you file them online instead of on paper because online it does a lot of the calculations for you and it's easier to keep track of when things were submitted. In addition, they do send you letters about if it changes. So 1 year you could be an annual filer, your business grows, they send you a letter, and now you're a quarterly filer moving forward. So just keep an eye on your mail. If you use door.washington.gov, they'll send you your mail through the site, and so you don't get missed. You just get it as an email instead of it getting lost in the postal service. All right, so that's Washington State taxes. Next type of taxes in Washington is your county property taxes. So if your small business owns its office space, you have property taxes. It is what it is. They are due in April and they are due in October at the end of each month. And they send you a bill in the mail. It's done automatically. You just pay it and you're good to go, right? If you're in King County, there's King County's parcel viewer you can use to look up when it's due and you can pay online. So it's one of the things to keep in mind. If as a small business owner you own your space instead of rent it, the property taxes will be due. Now, we talked about your state business and occupancy taxes. Various cities also have business and occupancy taxes. So Seattle, Bellevue, and many other cities have this. And mostly you can find out at filelocal.gov. That's usually where you would sign up for your city business license, and that would be where you do the filing. Now, most city B&O has a much higher threshold, so you need to make $100,000 to get taxed on it, right? Versus Washington's only $50,000. So a lot of times, you like for Bellevue, you only have to file if you're over that amount, versus Seattle, they want you to file even if you're under that amount because they keep track of it a little bit closer. Now, the key thing to remember is these are all based on revenue and not your net income. So say you made $100, you had expenses at $50, your net income's $50. You're still getting taxed on that $100 on the state and city level. And that's because it's a much smaller percentage than your federal taxes. So federal taxes are like 22%, 25%. State and local taxes tend to be, 1%, less than 1%, and they have small business credits. So just some things to keep in mind. You're going to have Washington state taxes. You might have city taxes. And if you own real estate for your business, you'll have property taxes. Hopefully you found this helpful. If so, subscribe below.